Thank you for staying with Republic. And our big story this morning, this is in connection with the Sopore attack that the CRPF has issued a statement saying that the killing of a civilian in Kashmir yesterday was unfortunate. CRPF has set the record straight by saying that it was the bullet of the terrorist that killed the civilian who lost his life, unfortunately, in the Sopore attack, while slamming the propaganda being furthered by a certain motivated lobby. The CRPF has made it very clear that an attempt was being made to give the narrative a spin and that there is no question of holding the CRPF responsible for the killing of the civilian.
Joining me on this broadcast is ADG CRPF, Mr. Zulfiquar Hasan. Mr. Hasan, thank you very much for speaking to Republic TV. Let me straight away begin by asking you, there has been an unfortunate incident. The entire nation has come together, but there have been some questions that have been essentially raised about who killed the grandfather of the child. Many have been raising this question that perhaps it wasn't the terrorist bullet, but it was the bullet of the CRPF. That's the kind of spin that is being given deliberately by a certain section. How do you respond to such certain allegations that have been leveled against the CRPF?
Well, I would begin by saying that this was an encounter wherein the CRPF party went to do duty at a certain place. The militants already holed up inside a mosque overlooking the place where the CRPF party is supposed to do its duty. As soon as we reached there, the firing started from the militant side onto the CRPF. The CRPF party retaliated the fire. We were very much aware of the mosque being there, and in fact we were taken by surprise because normally firing on the mosque is not a very common thing in the valley. However, keeping the dignity of the mosque in mind, the CRPF controlled its fire and retaliated to the militants. Initially, after a few minutes, not even, I think when the encounter started about 2 minutes later, this gentleman came driving his vehicles, and I think he was caught unawares that there's some firing going on, and he entered very close to the encounter site. After that, this gentleman took out, I think he tried to take out his grandson who was sitting on the co-passenger seat. While getting down from the vehicle, he went towards the other side. At that moment, a bullet hit him from the rear side. I have been to the spot. My senior officers have also been to the spot. Technically speaking, it is not possible for the CRPF fire to hit him. It was 100% the fire of the militant from the mosque who hit him, which got him injured, and consequently he died. Further, we've taken other evidence, including technological evidence there, and it's very, very clear that the unfortunate death of the civilian was caused by the militants firing from the mosque. The CRPF party present, while even during the firing, one of the constables, the child, was obviously very nervous. He didn't know what to do. He was running up and down. So one of the constables who were also firing towards the militants took him in his shelter and kept him there for a reasonably long time till the more reinforcements arrived and he could be handed over. So I would say with all the responsibility I have that this is a spin being given by certain elements. This is totally untrue. It is right. It is very clear from whatever evidence we have seen and whatever we have gathered that this was a military firing which killed the civilian.
Mr. Hasan, I also would like to stress upon this entire fact that has come up, that the terrorist escaped after firing from the mosque, and the CRPF as well as the other security forces did not even retaliate with one single bullet as they were inside the mosque. Would you like to elaborate on this point?
See, we retaliated when the militants started firing at us. We fired back at the militants, keeping the dignity of the mosque in mind. However, I am surprised by the fact that the militants were already holed up inside the mosque. There is a mosque committee. There are people there. We do not expect that the Kashmiri society would allow the mosques to be hijacked by militants and used for such activities. Inside the mosque, after the whole thing was over, when we searched, when the party went inside, we found more than 60 empty cartridges. We found 2 magazines at the rear of the mosque from where the militants ultimately escaped. We found a lot of blood. Now, my larger question would be that this situation is being reached where the militants with impunity are coming into a mosque, hiding inside it and firing at will, knowing that we would be very, very, subdued and very, very careful in retaliating. And in the same time, they are shooting civilians at will. And then some people turn it around and try to say that the CRPF shot that civilian. I think in the larger picture of the people who are trying to twist it around are trying to take away the focus from the fact that religious places are being occupied by militants, that militants are causing killings of innocent civilians. That small boy could have been injured very badly in this. However, I think this is a definitive spin to take away the narrative from the real face and the real activity of the militants and turn it somewhere else.
One final question, Mr. Hasan, that I would like to ask you is with regards to how the boy who's seen a tragic incident unfolding before his eyes was actually rescued by the CRPF. There is an image that is basically doing the round of a CRPF constable who's basically trying to guide the boy who was there present at the spot. Would you like to talk a little bit about the operation itself and the fact that he was rescued by the CRPF? That was the first response that came in by a sensitive force like that of the CRPF.
See, we also have children at home. Our constabulary and the other officers present on the spot who handle this operation, we also have children at home. Everyone is, in India, all of us have a great weakness for children, and obviously we will not like a child to be in trouble. That constable who saved this boy, definitely anyone in his place would have done it, and our constable has done his duty. At the same time, we should also remember that our martyred constable also had small children who are now left orphanless. So, you see, children are hold a special place in every Indian's heart, and we are very conscious of not, causing any damage. And yesterday, the CRPF party there did its duty by ensuring that the child is not harmed by the militants.